All right, let's move on. I'm going to skip a topic because we're running a little long.
Yeah,
anyway,
fuck 'em.
So,
Wow.
Because I want to talk about this more because I think this is a more interesting topic. I was going to talk about Matt Reeves' WB deal, but fuck him. I'm just kidding.
Fuck the WB, really.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Matt Reeves.
Mm.
So, Tyler, I don't know if you know this about me, but I would say about back in 2018, 2019, I was a MoviePass member. And let me tell you something. When it worked, when it existed, man, it was beautiful.
Man,
I was seeing movies.
I had chubbies for
I
days.
was seeing movies. So many
in
movies.
my head.
I saw, and you know the movies I most saw were the Rock movies, because normally I wouldn't watch the Rock movies in theaters because he picks some strange movies.
Also, he has a
Great example.
contract that he never loses a
Great
fight.
example. It's in the middle of the afternoon. I got nothing going on. My buddy, I call him up. I say, hey, man, do you want to see Rampage? That shitty looking video game movie. He's like, sure. I
The
go, you
video
know why
game
I'll
is
go
so
see it
great.
with you? You know why I want to go see it, buddy? Because I got MoviePass. And I took my MoviePass in there, swiped that card, didn't have to bother me about the ticket, got myself some nice refreshments, and watched that shitty movie. And I loved it. And I did it again. I saw Skyscraper, which nobody should see that movie in the theater, but I did because I had fucking MoviePass. It was great.
So tell
I
us,
loved MoviePass.
why are you telling
So
us
what was
about this?
MoviePass? For those of you that didn't get a chance to experience MoviePass or dunk on MoviePass when it existed, it was a subscription service. I paid $90, I think, for 1 year, and they give you this little like debit card.
Mm.
That's what it works like, and you just would go. You would go on their app, and they would have what movies that you could get in with MoviePass,
Mm.
what showtimes you could do. You go in, you go, okay, then you get your tickets, do whatever. You go in, either, I can't remember, depending on, I think on the site you could just do it straight from the site, but you might have to go in and swipe your card to get your tickets, whatever. And so reality, you were paying a yearly fee to just see movies at a theater without actually just paying for each time you went to the movie.
Mm.
And but the reason they tried to get, and I think at first it worked, because a lot of theaters got in on it because the theaters were like, okay, if they're not necessarily paying for that box office, they're going to spend more in concessions, which is true.
Mm.
Most of the times I got more concessions because I didn't have to pay for the movie ticket.
Yep.
And again, when it worked, it was fantastic.
What about them M&Ms? I'll take a couple of them too.
And my wife and I had it, and we enjoyed it. And while it worked, we loved it. And then another company got a hold of it and ran into the ground and kept trying to like lowball theaters and saying like trying to up their rates at certain theaters to be like, hey, if you this one place is gonna be cheaper. You know, they're trying to leverage the theaters against each other, trying to take cuts out of concessions and all that. Anyway, it didn't work, and it crashed and burned. But now, MoviePass 2.0 is back, baby.
Ooh.
I'm in. So the reboot is being led by the original co-founder, Stacy Spikes, who is the one who lost out to the company that took it over.
Spikes.
So this is from Axios. He told Axios that MoviePass can lead theaters' rejuvenation. Earlier this year, Spikes said he believes MoviePass can amount for 30% of U.S. ticket sales by 2030. During its peak in 2018, MoviePass, one of the few here, was responsible for 4% of the overall market share. And then AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, the three largest, biggest chains in the U.S., have each launched their own subscription-based offerings since MoviePass collapsed.
Well, way to go, MoviePass.
But we've seen...
Way to fuck it up.
We've seen that AMC is in trouble financially.
Yeah.
We've seen a bunch of these chains get in trouble because of the pandemic.
Why would they?
I think the pandemic and all the things that I mean, granted, we're still seeing pretty good size
Could it be
numbers.
the shitty pay that they're giving their employees and the ridiculous hours and stuff?
Maybe.
Maybe like one benefit of a free movie a week isn't worth the fucking shit that I have to put up with people.
But here's why
I want popcorn.
Here's why
fuck you.
Here's why I think it could work.
Does that have anything to do with why they're losing money?
I think it could work because I think this is a great way to get people back into theater. I know that we have been, but it's still, you're still seeing some effects of streaming where
I
you're
go
seeing
on Sunday, the weekend of an opening weekend, and I of one of our big movies that we like to do, the MCUs. Dude, there's not a lot of people. I mean, maybe half full, I think, is the most full I've seen.
Well,
But that's also a Sunday matinee, but the weekend it opens.
Well, I just think a lot of it is that people are just like, okay, 45-day streaming window. So I think a lot of people.
Fuck, I want some buttered popcorn right now.
I think a lot of people understand that streaming has changed movies in the sense that it could be like, well, I don't really seem that interested in Thor, so I'll just wait in a couple months when it's on Disney Plus. Or I don't want to see Lightyear, I'll just wait until it's up in a couple months on Disney Plus. Where this is trying to say, like, okay, so I don't have that barrier of entry of paying for my ticket. I could just take this card, go in, bada boom.
Fantastic.
And if I remember correctly, a lot of these theaters don't make very much money off the screenings themselves. Where
No.
they make all their money is concessions.
Oh yeah, they don't make shit
So I don't
off
think
the movies.
I don't think theaters really care that much or should care that much about losing the ticket sale because again, they get such a small percentage that they have to pay out to the studios and everybody else and all that shit. I think I'm actually interested because I've also seen that it's going to be tiered. There's going to be 3 pricing tiers, $10, $20, $30. That isn't official, but that's where they're guessing. And they said, this is totally new to this new Movie Pass. This wasn't in the original one. Each level will get a certain amount of credits to be able to use towards movies each month. Movie Pass said nothing more in terms of details. And we'll find out because it's supposed to relaunch on Labor Day. So we'll see what
Yippity
happens.
fucking skippity.
I think, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I loved Movie Pass when it worked, when I had it. The last movie I saw in a theater with Movie Pass was the 2018 Halloween requel.
Wow.
That's what you call it.
What?
A requel.
What does that mean?
It's a sequel, but it's also a reboot.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a
How am I
Holly-
supposed to follow all these twists and... Off panel, off job here with Jake and Tyler.